Alright YouTube, so yesterday we learned the dates for the Fallout 76 beta for the Xbox, PS4, and PC, which of course the Xbox starts on October 23rd, the day the bombs dropped in Fallout lore, and PS4 and PC start on October 30th, so exactly a week apart. And both of these dates are just a couple weeks out from launch, which is obviously kind of a touchy subject. A lot of people, including myself, have said from the beginning that the closer the beta is to launch, the worse off the game might be. You know, we don't know for sure, but generally speaking, betas take place like a month, 2 months, sometimes even more than that before a game actually launches. And we know that this is Bethesda Game Studios' first multiplayer game. They don't even know how to really do a multiplayer game themselves. So at the very least, it'll be interesting to watch this game develop from what is, I guess, technically a beta for us, even though it's not really beta, it's more early access, onto launch. We also learned that when the beta starts on October 23rd, it will actually carry on until just a couple of days before the game drops on November 14th. We don't have an actual date on that yet. Like, if I had to hazard a guess, I would think that they don't even have a date in mind right now. They're probably not back at, BGS going. The beta's going to end on November 10th or whatever. Like, they're probably going to go as long as they need to go. The other piece of information that we learned, which is the topic of this video, is that our actual playtime is going to be very limited when it comes to playing the Fallout 76 beta. We were told anywhere from 4 to 8 hours every day, and then I guess after that they'll turn off the servers so you can't play anymore and fix whatever needs to be fixed, rinse and repeat up until the couple days before launch. And this was kind of polarizing. It's oddly enough, there's actually a lot of people who don't seem to care about this, and that's why I wanted to make this video. To play devil's advocate for a moment, I get why people aren't that upset. 4 to 8 hours is a lot of game time. I've had some sweaty gaming sessions. I've sat in front of my TV and played video games for longer than I care to admit some days. But generally speaking, not many people are going to sit in front of their TV for 4 to 8 hours. Like, that's just not going to happen. When you look at it that way, sure, 4 to 8 hours is a decent amount of time to play a video game. But the thing is, they're going to be changing when this takes place pretty much each and every day. That way people all over the world can participate in the beta, so they can, test servers for different regions and stuff. Which means, like, for me personally, I live in the middle of America. I'm in the central time zone in America. So there's going to be a time at some point during the beta, if they're continuously changing when it takes place, to where the only time to be able to play the game is going to be like 4 in the morning for me, which obviously means I either got to stay up late or I got to set an alarm to wake up early if I want to actually participate in playing the game, capturing gameplay, making videos and stuff like that, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, right? But not even that. Let's put the YouTube stuff, the content creator stuff aside. Me as a gamer, as a consumer, I put down my money. I gave Bethesda my $60 so that I could participate in this beta. And because it's not 24/7 and they're going to be changing the windows of time so that everybody pretty much around the world can participate, there is going to be days where I can't even play the game unless I'm willing to stay up to an absurd time in the morning or something. And the argument for this usually is, well, you shouldn't have pre-ordered. The pre-order model is terrible, which I disagree with to a degree, because I think if you see a game that you like, if you're satisfied with the gameplay that you've seen, and you have the money now and you want to buy the game now, that is completely fine. I was going to get this game regardless. Even though this beta news kind of sucks and it has me a little upset, I was going to buy and get Fallout 76 regardless. So I'm not really burned in that regard. And it's not like I'm completely defending the pre-order model. I've been complaining since the beginning, since this game was revealed, about being able to pre-order it, because we knew nothing about this game at that point. They dropped just like the Please Stand By and the teaser trailer, but we knew nothing about the actual game. We don't know what the game was. There's rumors it was multiplayer and all kinds of other things, which turned out to be true, but we knew nothing about the game, and they're already trying to sell it to us. And that I completely disagree with, of course. But my biggest issue with this whole situation is that we've been able to pre-order the game for a long time. We found out on June 10th at E3 that if you do pre-order the game, there is going to be a beta, and that's the only way to get into the beta. So if you pre-order the game, you have access to the beta so you can play the game early. And we didn't learn until now, less than a month away from when the beta is actually going to drop, for Xbox, of course, that the time in which we get to play the beta will be very, very limited, and only when Bethesda allows us to, because they're going to set the time, and because they're going to be changing it up so that, everybody around the world can play, there's going to be times where you can't even play the beta, even though you gave Bethesda your $60. And their argument for this limited amount of time is so that they can get as many people in there as possible, because, if there's only like 4 hours to play today, then, everybody's obviously going to try to squeeze in some game time, which means it's going to be a lot of players hopping in. But that's not exactly how that's going to work. And if you're really trying to stress test your servers, why not just make it an open beta? Because that'll bring in the absolute most players. The other thing is, once this game launches, the servers are going to be running 24/7 so that people all over the world can play whenever they want to. So why wouldn't you also stress test that? That way you get the fluctuation of people, coming and going, playing the game all over the world. Like, that should also be a factor in this beta, and maybe they will do that, but they haven't said that yet. And something else that people have brought up, and this is only the people that aren't really upset by the limited amount of time in the beta, is that it's a really long beta, so that makes up for the limited amount of time that we can play. But is that even really true? Because you can only play a set amount of time every single day, only when Bethesda allows it, and there's inevitably going to be days where you're not going to be able to play, whether it be early in the morning or whether you got shit to do that day. You're not going to be able to participate in the beta that day, thus wasting a little bit of the money you put down for the game. And in the end, even after everything we discussed in this video, it still doesn't bother you, you don't care, it's whatever, big deal. This is still something that's shady as hell because Bethesda's been hiding this from the consumers, from the players, for who knows how long. We've known about the beta since E3, and they've known since at least then that the game was not going to be running 24/7 during the beta, and there's only going to be certain windows of time that you could participate, and they didn't tell us that because it was going to affect sales 100%. And if you don't tell the players that their beta time is going to be severely limited, everybody's assumption is that the beta is going to be running 24/7 because that's pretty much how every other beta goes. So if you can't tell, I am extremely bothered by this. You know, they've done some shady stuff in the past that I've kind of brushed off, like Creation Club, you know, whatever. I'm just like, whatever, you know, I don't really care about Creation Club. This is the first time where me as a consumer, I feel like I've been burned by Bethesda because this is something they failed to tell us this entire time. And I, along with a lot of other people, thought we were going to be able to play the beta as much as we want because that's usually how a beta goes. But because of this new information, it's like schedules are going to conflict, man. I want to play with my friends. I want to play with my brother. I want to play with my subscribers. Some of us smaller YouTubers have talked about getting together and playing, and inevitably schedules are going to conflict. Whenever I'm free to play, they might be busy. Whenever they're free to play, I might be busy. Whenever we're both free to play, it might be, you know, a time that's fitting to somebody across the planet, and neither one of us can play. To put this in the most simple terms possible, you gave them money to play the beta, and there's going to be times where you cannot play the beta because they say so. If that doesn't make sense to you guys, I don't know what else will. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on the situation, so really all that's left is for you to tell me what you think in the comment section below. And on a lighter note, we recently hit 9,600 subscribers, less than 400 subscribers away from 10,000. That's a milestone that we've been working on since before the summer, sometime around May is when I really started pushing forward. I guess technically it's a milestone we've been working on since I created the channel, but you guys get what I mean. I just want to thank everybody for the continuous support. Welcome all the new people to the channel. We are definitely hitting 10,000 in October. That's something I said on Twitter, and it's an absolute guarantee. October, 10,000 subscribers. So like I said previously, all that's left is for you guys to tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this topic? Do you even care at all that your time is going to be limited, even though you gave Bethesda your $60, and presumably, I'd assume you guys were with me, thinking you could play 24/7. And if you're not bothered by this at all, I definitely want to hear why in the comments below, because I'm pretty interested in that perspective and as to why you wouldn't care. Anyways, guys, if you want to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid, at my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.